Hello, hey Robert. Hi to everyone. Good to get all our. Hi, Don from North Texas. Do you know North Texas is where the Canadian River is? I think. Hey, Chloe, Beatriz, hola. Hey, Marlene, Karina. Nice to see everybody. Look at the blue sky. So I'm starting our visit up at a place that I think I've only once showed you before because it's not that windy today. So I'm able to share this with everyone. So, hi, Diana. Hi, Becky. Hey, Vanessa. Vanessa. Hey, namaste, Wonder. Vanessa, feliz dos años allá. I was on Vanessa's tour a little bit earlier, everyone. Vanessa's celebrating her 2 years on Hago. And I was on the tour. I was listening until I skied down the back, and then I lose all my reception, and then I can't hear anything. But it was really good, and Vanessa was cooking away. So, ladies and gentlemen, a quick hello. I expect the count's wrong here. Plus, I know I had a very. It's lovely. It's a little chilly, of course, but I had a very lovely message from Patrick and Aaron. I know they're just finishing up a tour. Hey, Dave, nice to see you, buddy. I know they're just finishing up a tour. Um, and they were going to sort of suggest people come over here. Of course, I chat with those guys quite often, and they're just such lovely, lovely gentlemen. Um, well, isn't it fun? So just like 3 days, is that right, Don? Well, lovely to have you back. So just 3 days ago, I was having lunch with Vanessa and Merrick there in Lima, and so it was a real treat to be there. So let me just sort of a quick hello first of all for those of you who, if you haven't met me before, now my name is Patrick Toomey, and this is pretty darn close to home, right? I am up atop Lake Louise ski area here. I live 45 minutes down the road, 52 kilometers down the road in the town of Banff, but I'm in Banff National Park here. I love coming up here to start tours. Hey, Lorraine. I have to be very careful not to walk back too far behind me as suddenly I drop off my reception. So I need to look down into the village of Lake Louise, and then I have my connection, which is pretty amazing. I am right now at 2,550 meters above sea level, which is about 8,300 feet. Now, 7 days ago, I was at Chacotaya in Bolivia with Reynan, and and I was double that, more than double that. I was at 5,300 meters or 17,500 feet above sea level. Isn't it incredible? And running, yeah. So my lungs feel great, because I've been at high altitude, and then I was down in the jungle for a couple of days in Iquitos, um, and now I'm back here, and this is home, and it's only like minus 10 degrees. So for us, it's warm. Is Paula here? Hey, Paula, I hope you're feeling well because I think Paula has a cold. But lovely to have you here. So, with no further ado, what I thought I would do today, I am keeping an eye on the time because I know that. Oh, there's Paula. Nice to see you. I know that people have soccer to watch too. Um, I got out here quite early and I've been skiing pretty hard, warming the legs up, getting moving, and because only my second time skiing this year, and then two balls more, and then I'm going to be tomorrow. I'm actually going to Victoria just for a few days. So all that noted, that's enough introduction. See the gorgeous blue sky behind me, the mountains behind me. Let's have a little look out here. Here's a snow fence, but as we look right across the valley, there is the world famous lake of Lake Louise, 2 kilometers long. You can see it in that it was snowing quite heavily. Hey, Annie. Hi, Anna. Um, it was snowing quite heavily at home this morning, but actually it was gorgeous when I came out here. And there you have the famous Chateau Lake Louise. I didn't put on a tour over at the lake today because I need to get home. I have a couple of actual work meetings, and then I've got a thing in Canmore. So my evening walk tonight, I might do in Canmore. I'll see how we go time wise. But there is the famous Lake Louise in a perfect cirque valley. So hey, Chandra, nice to see you again. And that is the Victoria Glacier at the back that gives birth. Thanks, Diane. Well, say I was funny. Patrick sent me a lovely message saying welcome home the other day, and he said, yeah, that they knew I was going to be skiing. Thanks, Michelle. Yeah, they really have. Those two gentlemen have really become good friends. It's funny. I don't know if we're just united because we're the Patricks, but Patrick and I chat quite often. I just think the world of them. And it is funny, but hey, Jim, and it is funny, of course, because they live in a big, big, big city, whereas I live in a town of 8,500 people. But those of you who joined us last night for the holiday train. You saw how busy it can get when the whole town comes out. So this is how I believe my general state normally is. Merit Kitos. I generally am in marginal conditions. That's how I love to live my life. But we're looking down into the valley here. We're looking down to the village of Lake Louise. That is the highest permanent community in Canada. I think it's running at about 691 people, about half of whom are there. Hey, Janice, T&J, about half of whom are there kind of semi-permanently. Like I have one good friend who's worked there for Parks Canada now for 12 years, and then the other half come and go. They work either up at the chateau or at the ski hill here. All right, so this is one of the largest ski areas in North America and the world, really. We had the World Cup, although it's really a big question whether we're going to have a World Cup next year, which is kind of sad, particularly the women's downhill, because they don't race anywhere else in the West. Um, my fave, no, I didn't say my fave hat, sorry. But there's the village of Lake Louise down below. Let me just back up here for a moment, and you can look up above the peak. Hey, Natalie, look up above the peak. Nice to see you, Marta. There is we're going to go fast today. I thought would be kind of fun. Hey, Linda, nice to see you, Leslie. Um, so right up there is Temple Mountain with that glacier up top, and that's the highest peak in the area around here, about 11,400 feet above sea level, 3,200 meters. So that's what that glacier is looking like. And then as I curve around, there's Mount Fairholme there. I am again on Whitehorn Mountain, but if I were to go off into the distance, hey Giselle, nice to see everyone joining. If I go off in the distance, that is Larch Mountain right there, and that's where we get the larch trees. In fact, I just came up. Let me just show you. I skied down the back, and I can never ever show you the back because I have no reception down there. But I do have a 360 video if you ever want to see skiing at the back. So I went up to yeah, Karen. I know them. I was chatting with Patrick earlier today. Lovely to have you all coming over here. But there's Whitehorn Peak. So for those of you just joining, again, I'm up at 2,550 meters, 8,300 feet. It's slightly higher, about 2,650 up top there. So I went up that chair. I skied down the back in some pretty marginal conditions. They need some more snow here. Skied around back. Thanks, Natalie. Yeah, I, I gotta, I gotta give Patrick a call later today. So we chat quite a lot, the two of us. We've become really good friends. But here's the chair that I came back up here. This is an old chair that stops a lot. Um, and so I'm always a little worried when I want to start a tour up here in case I get stuck. It is wonderful that I have reception here, but you see, it drops off a little bit when I face back. So that's further in the back, but I do want to take a moment just to show you. So these are double black runs back here. Of course, I grew up skiing here, so that's not, if you haven't skied, if you haven't grown up with it, that can be more challenging. But the formation of these mountains, I'm in the internal ranges of the Canadian Rockies right now. Let me first just take a moment and do a land acknowledgement. I'm on Treaty 7 territory. As I look east down here, uh, well, it's a different kind of nice and dry snow, JV. But as I look down east here, I'm looking down at the land of the Stoney Nakoda people, the Blackfoot First Nations. I'm in land that the Cree have come to, and specifically the little shopping center that's down in the middle of Lake Louise Village down here is the Samson Mall, named for Samson Beaver, a famous First Nations guide, and that is actually owned and run by the Madawaskis First Nation, which is up to near Edmonton's the largest single First Nations population of any single community in Canada. So it's pretty neat that that is First Nations. Now, why did they all come here? Well, they've lived here and migrated through here for 13,000 years. We know 13,000 years because there's archaeological evidence, and this was all filled with ice. However, if I curve around to the right there and you look in the distance, see the clouds that are sitting right there? Well, that is because I'm looking straight at the border with British Columbia and the Continental Divide right there. So go up and over that hill. Thanks, Chloe. Um, and you drop down there, and that's where you get to the land of the Cooktaxa people. And the Cooktaxa people had ochre and had salmon, whereas the people on this side had no fish at all. What do you call a fish with no eyes? But they would bring bison from here, and they would meet the Cooktax across that border, and they would trade, and the Cree First Nations would come down from the valleys you're looking up in the distance up here to the north, and that's the road on the way up to Jasper. So, as I said, I'm in the internal ranges here, and that's because I don't think it'll be clear enough to show you, but Storm Mountain and Pilot Mountain are about 25 kilometers down the road there. That's Vermilion Pass, and that's the way into Kootenay National Park. Remember, there's 4 contiguous national parks here. I'm in Banff, 6,500 square kilometers, Canada's oldest, most famous first national park. And then the second oldest one is right down over the pass in the distance into Yoho. And remember, Yoho is a Cree word and it is an expression of awe. And so we simply translate it as wow. Thanks, Lisa. He said there's lots to paint here. Now, if you maybe look up in the sky, you might see the sort of half moon up there, which is lovely. Um, so it's a real treat to be up here and to share this with everyone. So they started skiing back here in the 30s. The first purpose-built ski lodge in Canada is up the valley in the distance. It's called Skokie Lodge. And let me tell the story very quickly for anyone from the UK on board, because William and Kate came here for their honeymoon, of course. Usually the first visit for the royals overseas is to come to Canada. They came here. They went to Ottawa, then they rode in the Calgary Stampede, and then they came out for a couple of private days, and nobody knew where they were going unless you lived in our valley, and everyone knew they were going to Skokie Lodge, and that's because 5 military helicopters flew over our town. Thanks, Lorraine, and that was a bit of a laugh because that's like the entire Canadian Air Force. And then and they went there for 3 days, went home, and she was pregnant, so that baby was made here in the Canadian Rockies. Gail, I'm going to go down up on the other side. Those are my skis propped up there, and I'm going to head down Waxy, I think. I haven't decided 100% which one I'll go down to the bottom. But I don't, because I'm going to be carrying the gimbal in one hand, I don't tend to come down the Mowgli runs like this. I do a little bit, but of course that's when I use my poles. Keep in mind, thanks Diane, but definitely I'll head down, we'll actually down below. You can see where the bottom is. It's 2 lifts to get up. Well, it's actually 3 lifts to get up to where I am here. There's the actual lodge down in the distance down there. So that's how far it is. If I were to get down into a tuck, thanks Helen, and push it really hard, I would actually be down there. Hi Lynn. I would be down there in about 4 minutes or so, and that's about 800 meters vertical, maybe 5 kilometers or something. So, oh, hey, Paul, sorry. It is a gorgeous day. So it was saying -8 on the car when I was driving out here, and about -10. And then when the wind comes up, it's a little bit colder. So, I mean, I'm bundled up, right? I have my helmet on. You know, I didn't wear a helmet skiing until Finn, my son, started skiing, and I don't know why I never wore one. They're nice and warm. So it's lovely to be here. But let's just talk one more minute just before I start skiing, okay? So I'm going to shape these mountains because I'm down in the internal ranges of the Canadian Rockies here. It means not the front ranges. But these mountains popped up out of the ground about 75 million years ago as the Pacific Plate thrust under the North American Plate, and it's caused all ups around Juan de Fuca and everything. And so the very front ranges are about 80 kilometers from here out to Mount Yamna. So Castle Mountain is halfway from here to Banff. That's kind of considered the most westerly of the front ranges. These are the big internal ranges here. Yeah, the rainbows you're seeing, I know everyone's like, that is not actually cloud per se. That is snow making. I didn't realize it's been pretty dry. It's been really cold while I've been away. Again, for those of you who don't know me, I've just come back from South America. I was down there for 3 weeks. So it's been chilly, but not that snowy. So yeah, these are my skis and they look like they're about to blow over. So maybe I'll take them down. Show you my feet? Sure. In my great green boots, which make me very easy to see. I almost should have brought my other skis today, my more carving skis. These are my wider ones. And then of course my poles. When I'm skiing with all of you, I hold them in one hand. But I do need to I just put my goggles down, which I really need. So there's something to reflect upon. I will say that when I'm skiing, obviously I'm not really looking at the chat for all the obvious reasons, but I thought, yeah, I'm not shaving. You're right. I'm going to shave later. I have a couple of meetings today, and so I just thought I would stay nice and warm. But so that's snowmaking down in the valley through there. By the way, you ski up the front of this mountain, ski down the back, up Larch Mountain, and when we get a good powder dump, then we take our lift up there and then we hike even higher. So, say I'm going to Victoria tomorrow, but as soon as I'm back Monday, Tuesday next week, I might take you all ski touring one day. Finn is great, Joanne. He left the house at 5:45 a.m. to go and take a bus to go to the gym and work out. So that's how my kid is. So here we are. You kick in and click down, and I have my binding set pretty tight. So, with no further ado, I thought it might be fun to do a little bit of speed. Now, for those of you who haven't skied with me before, please know that I have been skiing since before I was born. In fact, I think I came out with a pair of skis on. I am very careful, but it's nice for you to know that I'm going to go quite quickly. But there's a few places where the reception cuts in and out. And if it does get kind of pixelated or anything, please don't tell me because it's just a little bit distracting. Yeah, Mary, no. I was actually created. We're a little different here, those of us from the Rockies. I'm not speaking for all Canadians. From the Rockies, we hatch out the side of the mountains. So that's a little different than other things. So let's go for a little ski here, everyone. And I'm going to go around that lift and then down, and then we'll do one real quick speedy section. So here we go. Yeehaw! You gotta say what you see. So, oh no, Olympic sport is called fencing. Now, there's the thing. Now we'll zip around down here. Let's get some speed. Remember to always bend your knees and always lean forward because that's how you have control, which is how you stay safe. So there's the ride up to the summit. I have taken up there, but I know that I dropped my reception up there. So, but look at some of these colors. So I'm not going to stop for a minute because these snow rainbows are so beautiful. So now it's a little icy. So I'm just focusing on a bit of control here. Usually you use your poles for kind of timing. So we do a bit of a jump, why not? Now, obviously I'm not using my poles because I'm holding this gimbal in my hand. These are all the jumps that form. So look at that. Now we are the very high deer reception. Looks good. Isn't it lovely, Vanessa? So this is really the tree line. These are whitebark pines up here. Whitebark pines are very specifically protected, and they have these big pines. That's what the Clark's nutcracker, the only nutcracker in the Rockies, eats, for example. They also provide food for everything from bears. There are at least 2 bears that are hibernating on this mountain right now. We also have a family of lynx that'll be around. When I was down on the backside, I saw tons of footprints in the snow. I figure one was very clearly Arctic hare, which are white this time of year, and the other I'm sure was pine marten, which is probably actually hunting the hare. So this is one steep bit down here. So I thought what I'll do is I'm gonna go zip down around here, all the way down to this chair, which is called Top of the World. And then I have a nice viewpoint in there. I'll make a stop, and then we'll ski all the way to the base. How's that sound, everyone? But just when we look in the distance there you are looking down into British Columbia. I'm sorry if I'm not zooming, but my hands get a little cold, you see. So I have the gloves back on. So I'm just going to adjust. So I've switched. Oops, hold on. Sorry. Look at that. I just went to low battery. I was nicely charged, but that's what the cold wind does. So let me just say, if I magically just cut out on everyone, that's just the cold. And I'm having a few phone issues after my time high in the Andes. So yeah, so let's just head down. You ready for some speed? Do you feel it sounds, yeah, it is a bit icy for sure. So if you feel the need, as we say, the need for speed, let's do it right here. And up and over the jump we go. Woo! Da, 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 da. Ya arriba, ya arriba. Ya cantamos en castellano, Vanessa. Now, these are the large tamarack trees in this area. They're the one pine that changes color and turns super delicious golden in the fall. Now this is where sometimes my reception cuts in and out. So I'm just going to keep going. And as I'm going quite quickly, I'm not looking at the chat because of the, safety part of the thing. So where I'm coming around, this is where the World Cup was just hosted a couple of weeks ago. Men's and women's downhill. So they do about 3 kilometers in under 2 minutes. That's what these nets are for, is to catch people if they're going too fast and they might better. So the wind is catching this a little bit. Let me just stick to the game here for a second. And I look at the light of those. As I say, I'm not checking your chat at all, everyone, because of the whole, being safe thing. But here we are. What a gorgeous day. So now I'm moving into that cloud. See how quickly I actually make my way down here. Zipping by a few people. So even when I know the run, my knees are still bent. I'm still leaning forward a little bit, being careful and balanced. Oh, look at that beautiful reflection out here in the mountain. Isn't that just gorgeous? All right, so this is kind of the halfway point here. Hi, everyone. So hopefully that reception held. Yeah, that's right. Look at that. Holy moly. Go on, take a zillion postcards there on this. That is just fantastic. And that, as I say, is all snowmaking. It's great, Lynn. Yeah, it tends to be better if it's off. So this is where, if I bring you here in the summertime, this is where you have the viewpoint that you come up. And of course, now that we're in amongst the clouds, okay. Do you know my battery is having words with me? So I'm only going to stay a minute or two here, everyone, because I'm now down from 80% down to 10%. I do see something in the sky. Joy, it's a sundog, or a sundial, is different. But that's actually all refraction. Thanks, Chloe. Yeah, it's interesting how the battery's just, obviously the cold. Isn't it gorgeous? Isn't it amazing, Vanessa? I think probably all of this, see, the way they make snow is they're spraying out a very, very fine mist. And then they put in a freezing product. But I think that dampness is probably affecting my battery. You've never seen this now. Well, I'm going to save it for you. So this is a function. But that's the sun in the center. See? Hi, BG. So I tell you what, everyone. Let me see if we can get a selfie with this behind. I don't know if it'll focus on. Oh, look at that! I look like a Orthodox painting right now. That's isn't that Saint Patrick? Saint Patrick, the non-believer. How cool is that? Like an angel. God. There's another song, like a something. So, because I just want to take a quick moment. Actually, I'll try this one more time. My hands are getting cold. I do want to say peace and love to everyone. Thank you for coming. I need a beer. Yeah, well, I'm working on it. Hey, Carol, nice to see you. There's my friend Carol. See, Carol, I've got the whole Halo thing going. But what I'm going to do, everyone, thank you. I want to just thank you for coming and hanging out and for your support. And yeah, and a big hug, particularly to our friend Vanessa for her 2 years. Thanks, Dave. Let me go ski all the way to the bottom. But I tell you what, if my phone cuts out because the battery keeps sending me warnings, we just know that's the nature of the beast a little bit when I'm out here in minus 10. And of course, when I'm skiing down, the wind chill's probably a lot more like minus 15 or minus 20 or something. Again, these numbers sound so cold to people when they're unfamiliar. Thanks, Don. Nice to have you here. Um, everyone ready for a trip to the bottom? Let's go and say if I suddenly cut out, then I apologize. But it's so nice. Thank you, everyone. So big hugs. I look forward to all the chit chat. Big hugs to Patrick and Aaron too. Just have such a nice friendship with those guys. So here we go. I would do like you picked the route, but I don't want to try and read your responses. So I'm taking nice, big, wide turns at the moment. And that's where they're making the snow. Have a quick peek. Snow making over here. So I'm sorry that I'm missing any comments people are making just because. But look at that sundial up there. Made my decision. I'm going to pick this mountain, this run. So this is waxy here. Here we go. Ready for the quickness? Woo! J'ai voulu 400 000. Dans un ciel penché aux limites de la ville. Encore avec l'embauche. Now, there's a lot of beginners out here too, and it's absolutely my responsibility to move away from them and not vice versa, because that's how you have to learn to ski. All right. Oh, sorry. I saw a question, but all right. Make our way to the bottom. I'm down to that snow there. So here we go. And you say, what? People learning skiing equipment has changed a lot over the years. Sorry, Dave, I didn't see you. Why are mountains so funny? All right, I'm gonna ski right to the bottom now and say if the battery hangs on till I make it to the bottom, great news. And if it doesn't, I'll let you know that I made it alive. Although I seem to make it alive. I've only had one operation associated with skiing. Unfortunately, it was a lobotomy. No, I had a shoulder surgery years ago. But let's just take it out here. I'm just going to focus on this one little narrow portion. And, so what a change in light. So there's the gondola. And I do ride up here on the gondola every now and then. So we'll make one little fun stop here in the sun. So there is Trick Park that people jump off of. They're building the bigger ones over here, and they say this is the the largest log cabin in North America, so they claim. So let's make it to the bottom here. Let's do it. Shall we go straight? My legs are wider apart when I'm going straight like this. Then you have all the balance. And see how it holds up. My drive home. But I am kind of cheering for Morocco today, which is kind of fun. My boys do so. Come on, anyone. Keep kicking, everyone. Keep kicking. Push, 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 push. And there we are. Home. Sweet home. And I wanted to meet you all here because this is kind of famously the meeting place. So, ladies and gentlemen, we can't even see where we started from today because it's up through those pseudo clouds, which aren't really clouds. They're really snow making. But thanks, Cam. Nice to see you. Oh, I'm trying to get my. There we go. So we made it down, safe and sound. And oh, you're welcome, everyone. So there I am, the Lodge of the Ten Peaks, because the Valley of the Ten Peaks is just across the valley, which is where Moraine Lake is. You're welcome, Giselle. So it's fun to share. So next week I might put one up where I go ski touring. That's where I'll hike up. a mountain. Somebody's got a fall, but I might do that next week. And it's I'm worried that my battery's running out so much faster than it used to. But we'll see. Oh, you're welcome, Angelina. It's so nice to connect with her. And Janice, big hugs to you. Well, Jen, yeah, I mean, it's, we all grow up skiing here. Of course, we have 8 months of snow. And if you don't embrace it, then you'll go a little bit crazy. But then I am going to be down in Mexico there, of course, next month for a week. And I love you all hanging on CP. And I like your name CP because we were in Canadian Pacific celebrating last night. So everyone, I've run out of time. The battery hung on. Listen, peace and love. Thanks for connecting. So nice. Hands are good. Bueno, un gusto, Vanessa, pero como viene quedarnos aquí con nosotros. All my friends from South America are welcome here. Although I was in the snow, of course, with Raynan. So that was fun. All right, everyone. Hey, listen, thank you so much for your support and for all our support. Piaf. Okay. Ma liberté. J'entends, je t'ai gardé. Is it Barbara? Well, they have a huge number roll. Listen, I see some of those 2 boxes coming in. I'm sorry, it's such a bright sun, so I'll give you one last view of the mountain. But thank you so much for your support and friendship, everyone. And it's so nice to be home, but I'm already missing my friends in South America. And I do understand Cusco's in a veritable lockdown right now. So that's, that's a bit tough for everyone there. Yep. So anyway, peace and love and democracy. How's that for a good idea? Okay. It'll be good to connect. I'll see you all later. If you're awake, I'll do an evening walk, maybe along the Bow River in Canmore tonight. So we'll see. All right. By the way, there's only time you see snowmobiles here as tools. We don't do it for fun in the parks because of the environment. All right. Take care, everyone. All the very best. Lots of love. Bye-bye.